posed to the people, and the question is this: is can Man City finally win the Champions League this season? Now, let me just get you guys up to speed. Pep is desperate for the Champions League, and he knows that this is what will define his career. Nothing else, nothing more. They know that this is what will define his career because he knows that based on how good this team is, how many records that they've broken, what will crystallize it, and this is what I believe will make Pep equal to Uncle Mo. If Pep wins the Champions League with City, he will then be able to be equal and look Uncle Mo eye to eye. At the moment, Uncle Mo is ahead of him. So Pep understands how important it is. So the question is it's very simple for the panel. Do you believe that this is the season that Man City finally win the Champions League? Or how far do you think they will go this season? I'll start with Abdullahi.
For me, Double H, that's a no-no for me. That's a no-no for me.
Why
Forever.
not? Why not? They have the players, they have the
Yeah, I will
money.
tell
What
you.
is the no-no?
It's not even about money. It's about mentality. Man City they have been flop 2017, 16, 17, 18, 19. The only way the only place they've lost is semi-final max. Semi-final max. So I don't even trust Guardiola even going beyond semi-final. Because you wanna tell me Laporte, Otamendi, Stones is gonna go past
Easy.
Juventus
Laporte can play.
No,
Laporte
no,
can
no, no,
play.
no. No. Those defenders, I don't trust them. Even Guardiola, I don't trust Guardiola very well because sometimes it's tactics sometimes get you frustrated a lot. So Champions League, that is it. The only way they could go, the max they could finish is quarterfinals. Max.
Okay, wait. Just very briefly. Wait. Whoever said Uncle Moo is a B-Tech Steve Bruce, exit yourself out of this flipping life. That is rude. Take that crap back. Okay, Abdullah, just finish off your point. Finish off your point.
Yeah, for me, quarterfinal and max because they haven't shown me that ambition of winning the Champions League. They can win Premier League 20 times. They can win FA Cup 20 times. The rest of domestic league 20 times. But that Champions League, they lack mentalities.
Okay.
You can't tell me Gabriel Jesus, Sergio Aguero, Kevin De Bruyne, all of them doesn't have the ambition of winning. It's not about spending money. You can spend billions of dollars, billions of euros. But if you lack mentalities, that's zero. For
Okay.
me,
All right.
max
Okay.
quarterfinal.
So basically, before I go to Ahmed, let me just hit the super chat. So super chats from KO Khalid. KO Khalid with his super chats who says, better to be an underdog LFC fan. I'm not sure whether you want to be an underdog, man. I think you have to be brave. Man, just take the down baits, man. What the hell? All right, Ahmed, hit me. Man City, can they finally be Champions League winners this coming season?
I think they can. They have the ability, but I don't. But the problem is I can't see them beating a team like Juventus or beating Liverpool in the Champions League. Like I just feel like when I think about it really hard, and I think about Manchester City being in a semi-final or a quarter-final against Juventus and Cristiano or against a Liverpool with Mane and Salah, I don't see them going through. That's the problem. Like if they win, I wouldn't be surprised, but I don't think they're gonna win. I think
Okay.
semi-finals is where it ends.
Okay. All right. Forward.
Unless they play Juventus first. Unless they play Juventus in like the quarterfinals.
Okay.
Then semifinals.
All right. Forward. Go.
As it stands, with 3 days left in the transfer window, but they're not going to win the Champions League. Like you're not going to win it with Ottoman and Stones in the back. Yeah, they're good centre backs and they can maybe get you a league title, but a Champions League that's a step too far. Now, yeah, a lot Porte will improve things, but even he, like we saw how suspect he was against in the Tottenham game in the second leg. I mean, that was a shambolic performance where Son ran riot. So yeah, they're decent. They got a lot of players going forward. Again, Mahrez will add things going forward. Obviously, Bernardo Silva was a fantastic player, world class player. De Bruyne obviously going to be back this season. Hopefully, he stays fit, and they're going to be a problem for any team to beat, but. Like when it gets to the latter stages of the Champions League, I just don't trust that back line. They're gonna fold when the pressure really cracks. And yeah, that's what you need. We look at the teams who have won the Champions League over the last 5-10 years. They've always been pretty strong defensively, and I just don't trust Man City enough. They just don't have it in them. So
All right. Okay.
gonna win it.
Hardcore.
What's the question?
Man City, can they win the Champions League this season? Is this finally their time after spending 3 trillion over the past 3 years?
HH, you know me, man. I'm always real. You know, my YouTube channel is factual evidence. So this is the factual evidence I'm gonna give you.
Oh Lord. Okay.
Factual evidence is Man City's a 0 UCL team. The bottlers. Some of their players are overrated and they are used to the UCL pressure. That is the problem with City. Um, they will never, ever, ever win the UCL because, again, I always say this. They don't have the same mentality that Nottingham Forest had when they won the two UCLs. They don't
What
have the same
the?
mentality
Jesus Christ.
Aston Villa had when they won the UCL. They don't have the same mentality that Liverpool has when they win the UCL in last season. They just don't have the mentality. They don't have the juice. And I just think that Pep is, like I said, I think he's a league merchant. I think he's a domestic cup merchant. And this is who he's gonna be. He just has to be real with himself, and know that, you know what, I can't win the UCL. I'm being real with myself. I'm not gonna lie. I can't win the UCL, but I know I'm a league merchant. I know I can win the FA Cup. I know I can win the League Cup. That's what you gotta do. Be honest with yourself.
All right. Jalen.
Why does the League Cup even exist?
For me, Man City have a 0% chance of winning the Champions League.
Okay.
I think,
Okay. Wait, so Jalen, okay. Now you say 0%. Now my response to you is this: so the people have invested billions. How do you invest the billions, but it's a 0% chance of winning the Champions League? How does that work? I'm confused.
See. They haven't spent billions on a player like Messi or Cristiano. If they had spent billions on a player like Messi or Cristiano, I would have said they would have won the Champions League. But for me, these guys are still losers in the Champions Leagues. They're worse than Spurs in the Champions League. That's a fact.
Jesus.
I think they're probably the Belgium of club football. I think they're underachievers in the Champions League. So yeah, man.
Okay. All right, Juju man.
What's it called? First of all, everyone's hating. I don't know why. The only reason this Champions League is only dependent on the league. Like if Liverpool are close, then I don't know. It's like we don't make it. And as for Juventus, I've never seen a bunch of 35-year-olds getting this hype in my life. Like people are talking about as if Ronaldo is peak 28. He's finished. He's past his career. His life cycle.
Have some respect for Christina. Have some respect for Christina Milian, please.
Yeah, but true. So I won't go on Juventus. I cannot wait. But what's it called? As for City, I mean, it's all dependent on the league. If Liverpool are close, then like there's two focus. But if there's a wide gap, then I think the only team that City is afraid of getting, maybe Barcelona. That's it, because of Messi. I mean, I have to respect Messi. But aside from that, everyone. I mean. And it should be straightforward.
So Juju, you're saying that City, what chance do you have of your club winning the Champions League this season after spending all that money?
I would say 70%. And look, the worst comes to us, at least 3 trophies domestically. So
no, Juju man. I did not talk about anything about domestic trophies. This is solely about, can this team who have spent all this money win the Champions League? Don't talk to me about an FA Cup or a Premier League. That's irrelevant. Can they win the European trophy?
With the defense, I'm not sure. But yes, they have a shot.
Okay, but you're forgetting that this season they got knocked out by Hurricane FC, and last season they got knocked out.
Wait, sorry, briefly.
Just to reply. And you're forgetting that they were focusing on the Premier League, and that was not the 100% team. De Bruyne was not playing, Sané was not playing. Like that was half the team that was playing. It wasn't a full squad, and it took like a last minute, like a last minute, like the goal from an away goal to win. But that wasn't a full team.
But against Liverpool, they had a wide gap, and they lost 5-1 on aggregate. Like I'm not saying they can't win the Champions League, but I'm not gonna say it's their favorites to win it. Or the favorites.
Okay. Look. Let's move on. All right. Abdullahi, can you mute your mic because we don't want to hear like background noise.
I muted him, HH, and I made you an admin, so you can mute anyone you want.
All right. Cool. All right. So Liverpool, for everybody, Man City, will they win the Champions League? Yes or no?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, can any of us really stand to see the man who ruined football drop down to his kneecaps again? I don't think anybody wants to see that. He's getting old. I don't want to see this guy crawling off his knees again. So the team is really good. I don't see why they can't. I mean, I think that should be the goal for them. And by today's showing, I know it's just one game. I would say that they're even slightly better, and that's without their full team. So, I mean, I don't see what the excuse is why they couldn't win it this season.
Oh, okay. So you think that City can win it this season?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. Nish.
Okay, so there's like two things here. There's a tactical angle from it, and then there's a mentality angle. One thing that Juju Man said that was spot on earlier was that there's so many different variables that go into winning a Champions League. So when you're looking at it at a tactical angle, Man City, they have a very deep midfield and a proficient forward line with the likes of Sterling. You could say also Aguero. But the thing is that like their left back is persistently injured. Okay, Mendy. And on top of that, as it is, he's not good defensively, but Zinchenko is definitely a weak link. Their center back partnership, they're missing Kompany, and I think they definitely would need his leadership to win a Champions League. Like sometimes like Guardiola on a tactical like angle, he plays like a high line, which definitely doesn't help the team. It puts the center backs under a lot of pressure. And in big Champions League nights, you can see what happens to them. Like last season in the quarterfinal, like when Laporte was under pressure, like he made two mistakes, and then that cost them 2 goals. And these are the kind of margins you have to deal with when you're playing the Champions League. And from the second viewpoint, which is the mentality viewpoint, which I think is the more important viewpoint, is this, okay? This team does not have a Sergio Ramos. This team does not have a Cristiano. This team does not have a Carles Puyol. This team doesn't have the likes of a Drogba or even a Van Dijk, I would go so far to say.
A Van Dijk, jeez.
Yes, dude. When this team is put under pressure,
that's an insult right there.
When somebody puts Man City in a stranglehold, who is the player who's going to step up and take the game by the scruff of the neck and turn things around? Who's the eminent leader of this squad when things go wrong for Man City? I can't point to one. The closest thing that comes to it is De Bruyne, and he's not the most charismatic. The thing is that HH, money can buy you all the talent you want, okay? And in my opinion, PSG and even bigger talented squad. But one thing that money can't buy is heart, and another thing it can't buy is mentality or class.
Okay, all right, okay. Rahimski, thoughts? Can City win the Champions League this season?
In my lifetime, I've only seen one team win the Champions League for the first time, and that's Porto. And they had arguably the greatest manager ever. I love Pep. I don't think he can win this club their first ever championship.
Wait. What about Chelsea?
Wait. Mane. Let's Rahimski talk.
Yeah, that's a good point. I did forget about Chelsea. But, I'm just saying, you have to cultivate a culture in the Champions League. Chelsea have been to Champions League finals before they've won it. City have made the semifinal once. You kind of have to cultivate these things through time. And I don't think it's possible for them to do it this season. Although, as funny as it sounds, they do have the best squad in Europe, so you never know.
Okay. Mane, can your club win the Champions League this season after spending billions?
It's only a matter of time. There's no can. It's will. We will win in the next 5 years. For sure, this year.
No, Mane. I never said next 5 years. I said this upcoming season. What do we mean? What the hell by 5 years? This upcoming season, will they win the Champions League, yes or no?
Yes, of course we will win. Listen, if it's not for dodgy refereeing decisions, we would have won this season. So I don't know what all this history or learning the game. We have the most decorated manager in Europe, the manager with the most experience in winning European Cup. Other than Zidane, whatever. But the most number of trophies in a short amount of time.
Then why haven't you won the Champions League yet? Why haven't you won it yet?
It's a 7-game tournament, okay? They're more likely than not, things happen, mistakes are made by referees that could cost you, and that's how it works. But I'm saying right now we have the best squad in Europe. Who else can do it if not us? That's how we think. And all this rubbish about history and all this, you weren't you haven't a story, you have to earn your way, and all that rubbish about you have to be in the semifinal 15 times before you can reach the final, like it's some sort of video game you have to level up. Rubbish. We're gonna go straight to the final without all of that horseshit about earn your way, earn respect, it's crap. Wait until when's the final? Next 2020, the new decade. That's It's perfect timing actually, because that's when we intended to go to the
Okay,
finals.
okay,
So
okay,
we're,
okay.
We're well ahead of schedule, but
Okay,
yeah,
all
we'll
right,
definitely
okay.
be there for sure.
All right, thank you. So look,
Wait,
basically,
HH, can we acknowledge that if that Pep could do something dumb and then they lose because of that, like his tactical management, like.
Oh, no,
I'm
no,
more
it's
confident in
true,
Mourinho
it's true.
than Pep.
No,
Like,
but
the squad can do it.
No,
No,
the
but-
ref excuse sounds better.
Okay, but look, let me just run this off before we go to our next topic. All I'm saying is this. I appreciate what Pep did last season for City. That was absolutely amazing. Winning those 3 domestic trophies, something that has never been done in England, is absolutely incredible. But ever since my good old Nigerian compatriots journalist said to Pep, do you need Messi to win a Champions League? That has been eating away at him fully all the way. Because Pep is a weirdo. He's weird. He's a bit strange. And I do think that for Pep, as much as he will try to deny it, it really bothers him that he's not been able to win the Champions League without Messi and that Barcelona team. For me, you've got everything you have in this team. You have an amazing team, amazing individuals. You have the money. You can invest. You can pretty much cherry pick whichever player that you want. There is no excuse for you not to be able to win the flipping Champions League. There is no excuse whatsoever. Now, I think that, as I said again, the favorites I believe are Juventus, Liverpool, Chelsea. Then you may bring in Barcelona and thinking, man, relax, chill, don't take the bait.
Juventus.
Don't take the bait.
Juventus. Are you joking?
Can I land?
Explain this, please. Yeah,
Can I land?
explain.
Can I land? Thank you. So, before I was rudely interrupted, Juventus, Liverpool, Chelsea, then Barcelona, and then you may be rolling Man City. So Man City are officially like about 5th favorites for this whole thing. So, but whether they're 5th, 6th, or 7th favorites, you have to deliver the CL. Whether it's this season, next season, if Pep leaves Man City without winning the Champions League, that will haunt him. And I'm sorry, your tenure would have been a failure. So with that, we will.
Wait, Double H.
Oh Lord in heaven!
Explain. You say Juventus because I'm trying to figure out why everyone's saying Juventus.
And Chelsea Chelsea. Are you
Okay,
joking?
wait.
Juventus.
Wait, chill. Wait, guys, chill. We will get there. Let me just round off this topic and we'll get there. So we've rounded that off. Pep, you better win this CL. If you don't, then you're screwed. So with that.